This is CBN NewsWatch.
And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ephraim Graham. Firefighters right now in California are working in 24-hour shifts to stop a massive blaze that is sweeping across the Redding area. So far, hundreds of homes have been destroyed and tens of thousands are forced to evacuate. Fires have claimed 6 lives so far, including 2 firefighters and a family. Our Amber Strong is on this story.
The images from the massive blaze near Redding, California, terrifying, with more than 800 homes and structures destroyed.
I've never seen it like this before. It's just, here we go again.
Among the latest victims, Melody Bledsoe and her 2 great-grandchildren. The 70-year-old grandmother reportedly covering the children with her body in a last attempt to protect them from the flames. About 7 people are missing. Survivors are saying they're just thankful to have made it out alive.
We lost stuff. Well, it's not so much, we still have our health, and other people here don't.
Across California, firefighters are battling 17 wildfires in 100-degree temperatures. But out of the ashes, the best of humanity, like these firefighters who ended their shift and bought toys for children who'd lost everything.
Kids started coming back to their homes, and it was all burnt, and so we gave them some stickers, but we didn't have any like teddy bears and stuff.
Sunday, Redding officials said they're seeing progress, with firefighters getting the upper hand, saying they're switching from defense to offense in battling to extinguish the flames. Meanwhile, President Trump declared an emergency over the weekend, providing FEMA assistance to victims of the fire. Amber Strong, CBN News, Washington.
President Trump is threatening to shut down the government if Congress will not pay for a border wall. He took to Twitter Sunday showing frustration with the congressional Democrats over his stalled immigration policies. The tweet reads, in part, "I would be willing to shut down government if the Democrats do not give us the vote for border security, which includes the wall." The House failed to pass 2 immigration bills in June. Some Republican leaders say a shutdown is a bad idea before the midterm elections. Congress has until September 30th to pass a budget for the next fiscal year. Here now is a look at some of the other major headlines we're following for you today inside the CBN newsroom. The polls are open in Zimbabwe as the country's historic election is underway. It is the first election without 94-year-old Robert Mugabe on the ballot, who ruled for nearly 4 decades. About 5.5 million people are registered to vote. The African nation is anxious for change after years of economic and political paralysis. The trial of President Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort will open this week. Manafort was indicted in Robert Mueller's Russia probe investigation, but he is the only American charged to opt for a trial. The trial will center on his work in Ukraine and only briefly touch on his involvement with President Trump's campaign. Manafort faces charges in 2 different courts and could spend decades in prison if he's convicted. Authorities in Minneapolis released body camera video from the deadly shooting of a 31-year-old black man. The video shows 2 officers arriving to find Thurman Blevins sitting with a woman on a curb before he ran away from them, carrying a black and silver gun. Footage shows the officers demanding Blevins to stop running and threatening to shoot. Blevins yells back, "I didn't do nothing. Please don't shoot." Blevins was then shot as he was running away. The 2 officers are on paid administrative leave. For more on these stories and others throughout the day, you can always check out cbnnews.com. Turkey's president says he will not release Pastor Andrew Brunson in the face of economic sanctions. President Trump threatened large sanctions against the NATO ally if it doesn't set Brunson free. President Recep Erdogan is firing back, telling Turkish media, quote, "We will not step back." Last week, Turkish authorities transferred Brunson from jail to house arrest, but his trial continues. He's facing a possible 35-year prison sentence on charges he helped a group that tried to overthrow the government in 2016. His attorneys and the Trump administration say he is innocent and a political hostage of President Erdogan. Meanwhile, U.S. pastors are warning people not to travel to Turkey. In a statement to NPR, Reverend Johnny Moore said, "If Turkey isn't safe for Brunson, it isn't safe for us." Liberal Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg says she's hoping to serve on the High Court for at least 5 more years. The 85-year-old says her former colleague, Justice John Paul Stevens, stepped down at age 80, and she also would like 5 more years. Ginsburg, who refers to herself as a flaming feminist, was appointed to the court by President Clinton. She made the remarks after seeing a play in New York about the late conservative Justice Antonin Scalia. Despite her liberal views, she was a close friend of Justice Scalia. The big issue, especially for many Democrats in the upcoming confirmation hearings over President Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh, will be abortion and the Roe versus Wade Supreme Court decision that legalized abortion nationwide. You might be surprised to find that many of your fellow Americans don't even know Roe versus Wade was a Supreme Court ruling. They fiercely oppose losing Roe because they think it's been a part of America ever since its beginning. Our Paul Strand brings us the story now from Washington.
Lawyer Steve Aden takes up the abortion fight at Americans United for Life. When it comes to Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, though, Aden and others argue he'll be good for America because of his views on the Constitution.
He cares more about what the Constitution actually says than about what the Supreme Court has said it says.
Those against Kavanaugh focus on one thing: fear that a Justice Kavanaugh would mean the end to Roe v. Wade, one of the Supreme Court's most controversial rulings.
Roe v. Wade may be right at the center of all the controversy over Brett Kavanaugh, but the funny thing is how many people that support Roe don't really know what it's about.
A Pew poll found that 57% of 20-year-olds or folks in their 20s didn't even know that Roe was about abortion. It's a bumper sticker. If you put a microphone in somebody's face and say, do you support Roe versus Wade? What they hear is, do you support women's rights?
This research shows many younger Americans believe the 1973 ruling that legalized abortion goes all the way back to the nation's founding.
Linda Lake, a Democratic pollster, said on the media recently that most millennials think that Roe versus Wade occurred shortly after the American Revolution. The point is that they're completely disconnected from their history.
When asked specific questions about abortion, the majority oppose it.
They have seen their siblings on ultrasound growing in the womb, and you can't tell them that those babies are blobs of tissue.
And as Aden points out, more are refusing to get abortions.
Over the last 25 years, you have a 40% drop in the abortion rate in America. Today, the abortion rate in America is the same as it was in 1972, the year before Roe versus Wade.
For those who fear Kavanaugh in the court, Aden points out even if the justices overturn Roe v. Wade, it just means the abortion issue will return to the states. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from Arlington, Virginia.
Coming up, we're going to show you a new health series that will change your view on health as we show you why your gut is so important to whether you're healthy, sick, even skinny or fat. We'll have that story coming up right after this, and you don't want to miss it. Senator Bernie Sanders plans to provide Medicare for all would cost taxpayers nearly $33 trillion over 10 years. Yes, that's trillion with a T. The former Democratic presidential candidate wants all Americans to be covered with no co-pays and deductibles for medical services. One health advisor to the Clinton campaign says many people would pay more in taxes to support the plan than they would save in premiums. Senator Sanders criticizes the study conducted by George Mason University because he says the center receives funding from the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers, but the researcher says the numbers are his own. They reinforce other studies done by Democrats. Starting today and over the next 4 days, we're going to be giving you some important health discoveries you won't see anywhere else. It blows the lid off everything we knew before. So be with us today and every day. Medical experts recently figured out our gut and the bacteria in it determines whether we're healthy, sick, skinny, or fat. Lori Johnson shows us why these tiny critters living deep within us are the key to our well-being and how we can help to control them.
The Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Mark Hyman is one of a growing number of physicians who believe the path to wellness lies in our intestines, specifically the relationship between the good and bad bacteria there, something called gut flora or microbiome.
Many of the things floating around in your blood are informational molecules produced by bacteria that control your biology. So that's how the gut microbiome can be linked to everything that's going on with us in terms of chronic disease, from cancer to heart disease to diabetes to dementia to autism to autoimmune disease to depression and much more.
Scientists at America's top medical institutions are churning out mounds of data on the microbiome. The bottom line, as the gut goes, so goes the rest of the body. This is the Mayo Clinic's microbiome lab. Scientists here examine human feces. Sounds a little gross, but it tells them exactly which bacteria are in the patient, how much of it, and what bacteria might be missing. Dr. Purna Kashyap and his team found more than 1,000 different species in the intestines of the healthiest people. Very important considering 80% of our immune system resides there.
All of our guts have different kinds of bacteria. And the more different kinds of bacteria we have, it's more diverse. And the less different kinds of bacteria we have, it's less diverse. And so, as you can imagine, if you have more different kinds of bacteria, that's generally considered to be good for us because they will be able to tackle intruders much better than if you have less different kinds of bacteria.
In addition to the variety, the healthiest people also measure high amounts. Trillions of good bacteria and some bad, all total 3 pounds worth, 10 times more bacteria than regular cells. Dr. Heidi Nelson sees this as a complex and delicate ecosystem that demands balance.
We think of the microbiome in the gut like a little bit like a garden. You have to tend to, you have to weed it, you have to put seeds in, you have to water it. There's a lot of things you do. It's not usually one thing.
Since, like all living creatures, bacteria eat and expel certain things. Dr. Nelson explains why having too many or too few can lead to disaster.
If you have a buildup of certain bad nutrients, let's take, for example, hydrogen sulfide. We know that some bacteria produce hydrogen sulfide and others remove it and use it. But if you have too much hydrogen sulfide, that could, in some people, be the cause of the break of DNA that starts the chain reaction of colon cancer developing.
Not enough good bacteria or too many bad can make us sick and overweight. According to Johns Hopkins gastroenterologist Dr. Gerard Mullen, author of The Gut Balance Revolution, certain bacteria increase ghrelin, the hormone that causes hunger.
And when the gut microbiome is in a state of disruption, then we actually have a higher appetite and we crave more food.
Certain bad bacteria can also cause the body to crave particular foods like sugar or bread. Similarly, gut dysbiosis suppresses leptin, the hormone that tells us to stop eating. And it gets worse.
The gut microbiome also changes the way we metabolize fiber in foods and can make us absorb more of our calories in foods in an unhealthy gut environment.
A newly discovered bacteria can possibly determine whether someone is either slim or obese. In fact, research proves thin people carry more diverse gut bacteria than overweight people. Scientists found people in developing countries have more of this bacteria than Americans.
There's inflammation that occurs when we have an unhealthy balance of gut bacteria. It could really lead to injury in the gut, a more permeable gut, which some people call leaky gut. And therefore, when that inflammation becomes more systemic, then we get insulin resistance and we accumulate fat more readily.
In a landmark development, researchers at Washington University in St. Louis studied gut microbiomes from human twins. While they had identical DNA, one was obese and the other thin. Scientists took bacteria from each twin and put it into germ-free mice. The animals with the obese twins microbiome also became obese, while the other mice became thinner. Researchers noted the thin human and mice carried more diverse bacteria than their heavier counterparts.
There's a lot of associations with the microbiome and in children and the increased incidence of obesity and metabolic syndrome amongst the pediatric population.
Still ahead, he is a music producer who mainly deals with the gospel industry. You're going to hear how he got started and his latest project. We've got the story coming up next. He's called Teddy P. He's a music producer primarily in the gospel industry. We talked with him about his latest project, his start in music, and what he attributes to his success.
Water you turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind.
The wide-ranging voices of Micah Stampley, Pharrell Williams, Hamilton Park, and Demetria McKinney have one thing in common.
Every single time I go to write a song, I can hear it in my head before I pen it or before I play it.
Music master Jeshua T.P. Williams has written and produced songs for all of them, and then some.
This ain't no ordinary worship.
Kalante Gavin's debut album is among Teddy P's latest projects, producing alongside Marquise Boone.
It's my 6th live project that I produced, but this is definitely by far the best live project that I've ever produced. Yes, sir.
When did you realize that it was the best? At what part in the process you go?
The very first full rehearsal. I knew it. I knew it was going to be one of the greatest. We wrote the record, and from the time we charted it out, that very first time with just the piano and me singing it, I knew that record was huge. I just knew it.
When did you fall in love with music?
Oh man, as early as I could remember. My mom would tell me that when I was like at least 1 year old, I would be banging on pots with spoons. So she told me that now I grew up in this very, very rural town. It wasn't very wealthy at all. So my mom would get these buckets and just sit them in my room. I had 3 buckets, one red, one green, and one white. And she gave me these 2 sticks. They was just cut up and taped up tree branches. And I would just bang on them. I remember playing those in the house all the time. So my dad used to clean up the church, and of course I wanted to play the drums. So I go in the church, and I was like, Dad, I want to play the drums while you clean the church. And he would say, well, go in the corner and you pray. And don't come out of that corner until you hear what God's telling you to play. So I would go in the corner, and 3 seconds later, I'd come out. I'm like, I heard God tell me to play this. He said, no, you didn't. Go back in that corner. You prayed. And when I got to the drum set, I could tell that I heard something because I would just sit there on the drums before I played one of the drums, and I would go. And then I would hit the drums.
So it's as if God downloads it.
Exactly. It's as if God is just pouring it right into me.
How do you feel that God's allowed that to happen? I mean, you've thrived in this industry.
Yes, sir. Just being diligent. There was always a situation where they sought me out and heard of me, and then just came at my door or called to my phone, or somebody said, hey, I know this person, they want to meet you. And every single opportunity has come like that. I've never had a situation where I actually went out to a person and said, hey, I got these tracks, I want to do this with you. Every single time it was a call that came to me. So I would say just be diligent and just stick to whatever you do. In anything that you have, any dream that you have, you should always just keep on going until you win. Don't stop. Even if you keep on finding yourself losing and losing and losing, the goal is to win. So you shouldn't stop until you do that.
I love that advice. Don't stop until you win. You may fail, but don't stop until you win. We'll be right back. Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly is cancer-free again. He and his family received the great news last week on Wednesday, exactly 1 week after he gave a powerful speech at the ESPYs. He received the Jimmy Award for Perseverance. His wife Jill posted a photo on Instagram of Jim giving double thumbs up. She wrote, double thumbs up. MRI and CT scans are clear. Still working through major pain management, but praise the Lord, no evidence of cancer. Kelly has been battling oral cancer. When it returned in March, his wife released an emotional message indicating how they plan to fight the battle through faith in God. Right now, it is time for your Monday Motivation, and I pray this message will inspire you as you begin another work week. Breathe, move, and walk through this week with expectation of good things happening. Your expectation of God honoring His word puts a demand on Him, and guess what? He is happy to do exactly what He said in His word. With that word, I encourage you to make this a marvelous, marvelous Monday. Well, that is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Thank you so much for your company. Remember that you can always get more exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. And of course, we would love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can begin doing that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, on Twitter, as well as Instagram. This may wrap the show, but the news continues 24/7 at cbnnews.com. You can check there for updates on all the latest breaking news. We're updating that for you constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And once again, you can also get new information on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That is going to do it for us today. We thank you so much for your company. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. We encourage you to make this a marvelous Monday and a wonderful rest of the week. Be sure that you live today and tomorrow and the rest of the week with great expectation, and God will certainly honor His promises. With that, I encourage you to have a great day. We'll see you right back here, same time tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody, and God bless you.